All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about this UGREEN 7-in-1 USB-C adapter. It's going to give you all sorts of different ports. So if you have a computer with limited ports, it's no problem anymore because this is going to solve your problems. I have this MacBook Pro. This is an M2 MacBook Pro. Kudos to Apple because they've taken the time to give us some additional ports now. We have 2 USB-C on here. We also have a SD card reader, and we have another USB-C, and we have HDMI, full-size HDMI. Also, you might have noticed, it does have MagSafe. They went back to MagSafe for this machine. Now, that all being said, that was not always like that. It isn't always like that. If you don't have a MacBook Pro, you're going to be limited on ports.
That's right.
If you have a computer that's thin and small, you're going to be limited on ports. If you have an older MacBook Pro, they didn't give you full-size HDMI. They didn't give you a bunch of ports, so you had almost nothing. So here we go. We're going to show you this. This solves a lot of problems. It's by UGREEN. We love UGREEN. We've used a lot of their products. They've always proven to be top-notch. I actually bought about 50 of these for one of my clients. We had purchased a different brand before. It was slightly less expensive. And honestly, it didn't work. The Ethernet cable wouldn't even snap into the device. So went back to buy more UGREEN, and I said, you know what? These guys have always been solid. They solved a problem for me where others failed.
Good.
And I just wanted to show you guys about it. I highly recommend this. I'm going to show you some of the reasons why. Go ahead and open this up. Take this out. Okay, I have all these things on the desk because I wanted to show you. What if I need to plug in a bunch of stuff to my computer? Also, now we can use an adapter like this, almost like a docking station, because you have one connection, which is USB-C, which pretty much everything has. It's a nice touch. They put a plastic cover protector and packaging. So it's a nice, firm, prevent it from getting damaged. So when you have this, I can plug this one thing in, and here's everything I'm going to get from it. Over here, you're going to see there's full-size HDMI. So if you have a laptop that doesn't have a standard full-size HDMI, that's what this cable is right here. This is full-size HDMI. So you might not have this. This MacBook does, but many don't. It's going to plug in there. It can go to a monitor, second monitor, shows up right on your computer, PC or Mac. It's great. It's really great. The other one that looks here like USB-C, what this is actually for power delivery. You can use a cable like this, which is USB-C. You can use, now, this is pretty nifty, right? This is a really nice little, they call it a PowerPort 3 Nano. And it has a lot of juice coming out of it. It's 9 volts at 2.23 amps. That's pretty good. Or 5 volts at 3 amps out of this little beanie anchor. Really cool. We'll put links for all these things below. So definitely check them out. If you want to purchase something, definitely try to do that. So anchor, power delivery. We connect this to here. And what this is actually going to do now is once we plug this in, this is going to power the computer, providing that this is powerful enough to power the computer. I don't know that this one is. I didn't actually check. But it will definitely power any peripherals that you have plugged in. I have this microphone, right? It's a JBL microphone. This is powered through USB. So if I don't have power coming into my hub, it's all relying on the laptop, which may or may not provide enough power for all the peripherals. And at the same time, it's going to drain this really fast. So if I'm plugging this in, I have 2 full-size USB 3. I plug in my microphone into one of those. I have this power pack plugged in over here into the power adapter like that. And now this here is going to, when I plug it in, this power is going to power this microphone, which is great. We also have, I'm going to show you over here, I'm going to unplug this. We also have full-size SD, and I also have micro SD. 2 card slots, 2 full-size USB, full-size HDMI, power delivery up to 100 watts. Now, I also didn't mention this HDMI full size, some of these are not all equal. This will actually project, or not project, but display at 4K at 60 hertz. That's really good. It'll do 60 frames a second, so you can have full high resolution video from 4K. So yeah, it's really, you see it right there, 4K, 60 hertz. That makes a difference. It's about maybe 8, 10, 12 inches altogether. Now, you might have noticed, what is this little yellow cable? This little yellow cable is an Ethernet cable, RJ45. This is Cat 6, and this is set up for network. Network means other computers, the internet, the cloud, which is really just other people's computers again. Now, here's a little tip for you. Wireless that's built into all our devices, it's really cool. I love it. You love it. The speeds we're getting over wireless these days are crazy fast, right? So you say, well, why would I need this wire? That's kind of limiting me, isn't it? Well, yes and no. The further you get away from your access point, the more your speed goes down. The nature of Ethernet is that it will lose packets. And then this device will say, hey, I missed that. Could you say it again? And then he'll say, wait, I missed this part. Could you say that again? And so it keeps requesting the information until it can put it all together and display your web page or download the file that you're trying to download. That's what happens. Well, wireless, Wi-Fi, well, not all of us, but a lot of us. I live in Los Angeles. There is crazy amounts of Wi-Fi congestion. Some of my clients in Hollywood, I've seen well in excess of 100 wireless networks available from their office. So imagine all the radio interference that's happening by having all this wireless signal, all our wireless phones, all our wireless headsets, wireless this, wireless speakers, wireless that. There's so many things. So if you want a good, reliable connection, here's my tip for you. Use a wire. This is the most dependable, most consistent, best way to connect if you really need that good connection. So why are you talking about this? Well, that's because unlike many, this one also has gigabit Ethernet built right into it. So not only can you plug in all your devices, you can do your SD cards, your micro SDs, your thumb drives. This little thing is cool too. I want to show you this. This is one of those things that's a benefit from 3D printing. This is a model that I downloaded from a website and I printed on my 3D printer. And look, it will hold full-size USB. It'll hold my micro SD cards, my SD cards, and a whole lot of them. So they're organized and I do use them, but so I don't lose them. There's just another little trick. So we're going to add power so we can power our peripherals. We're going to go ahead and we're going to connect our HDMI here. And for today, we're just going to pretend. We can pretend, right? That's going to my second monitor. Okay, now I say, well, I definitely want my microphone because I'm going to have to Zoom or Meet or Teams or something, chat, iMessage, iVideo, whatever. Skype. Does anybody use Skype anymore? Comment below. Does anybody use Skype? Is Skype still a thing? I never hear about it. Anyway, so we're going to plug this guy in. Pretend that this is going to the wall. Pretend that this is going to a network switch. Pretend that it is going to your modem or your router that was provided to you by your cable company or in your office, the jack underneath the desk. That's where this magic happens. We're going to plug this in too. See how it locked in? I'm going to do that again. I want to make sure that you guys can hear this even. Ready? Yeah. See? It clicks in. I can't pull this out. I mean, I could if I damage it, but it's in. The ones I bought the first time, no. This, you might get it in. Maybe. I sent the company a message saying, hey, I'm having this problem with your cable and your adapter. And they said, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with our adapter. Our adapter works just fine. It must be your cable. I tried about 10 cables. 2 out of 10 worked. 8 out of 10 didn't work. I can't be that picky about the cable that goes in. I got these UGREENs, like I told you. Got 50 of them. Everyone works like a charm. I've never had a cable that didn't click in. As a matter of fact, these cables, which I bought brand new, they're Gear IT. I got them from Amazon. Check the link below. You know, I didn't tell you. please subscribe to our channel, like us and follow us. I'm going to give you lots of tips. All these pieces, inexpensive. I reviewed this. I'm reviewing this. I can tell you firsthand, this is good. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just going to show you this because guess what? It's good stuff. That's what I'm here to do. The big man is here to show you what's good and what's not. So there you go. So we've got a bunch of stuff. Just for fun, let's go ahead and we're going to throw an SD card. We're going to throw that in there too. Oh, wrong way. So there, we got that one in there. And for good old fun, this is actually for a keyboard. This is a Microsoft wireless keyboard. So if I want to use a wireless keyboard as well, I can go ahead and plug this in. This is the part I can't see too well. There you go. So look, I've got all these things plugged into this one adapter, right? I've got my microphone there. I've got my full-size HDMI, which is going to my monitor. I've got my power coming in with my Anchor power supply. These braided cables you can buy on Amazon. We'll put links below. They're inexpensive. They're very good cables. All of these. You see, I use a lot of braided cables because they're good. They're durable. They don't break as much. Quality's a little better. Yellow one, we got our Ethernet RJ45 that's going out to our internet connection or to our network. Got our SD card, our wireless keyboard. And look, how many things am I going to have to plug into my computer? Everybody here can count this high because it's only one. If you can count to one, right? So pretend this is a computer that doesn't have this many ports. You have your one connection, and we're going to just go ahead and we're going to plug it right in here, just like that. And there it goes. And this is asking us, do we want to allow these accessories to connect, this USB hub? We're going to allow. It's USB 3.1, keyboard assistant. That's because, as I told you, I plugged in this dongle for a Microsoft keyboard. This one here. So my Mac is saying, hey, how do you want to set up this keyboard? We're going to go ahead. It says your Microsoft device cannot be identified and it'll be unusable until it's identified. I don't have this keyboard right now in the room, so we're going to just quit this part, but pretty smart. Look at how seamlessly this is working. I'm going to quit that. You'll see over here, there's untitled. Well, remember I put this SD card in. So there it is. If I need to access the data on there, there it is. It looks like a camera card with files from my camera. Perfect. I can drag them to my desktop. I can upload them to my Dropbox, my OneDrive, my iCloud. So all those things can happen now because I have this. If I had the second monitor connected, boom, it would be connecting. And I'm going to point out to you with this little small Anchor adapter, surprisingly, very surprisingly, this machine didn't bark about it. It actually shows the machine as charging. It actually shows it as fully charged. It shows the power. It's not charging, but it shows the power adapter. There's no warning. We all who have used Apple products have all seen so many warnings when we try to plug in an aftermarket power adapter. We don't get good luck because it says, hey, you can't use that. Well, look, it's charging the laptop. It's powering the laptop right now because it's full. It's powering the microphone over here. I don't know. I'm going to try to give you a look. You see, it's all lit up. This thing is working right now. I could use this and open Zoom, and here's my microphone. All being powered by the power adapter that's feeding into our hub. Power adapter comes in, powers all our devices. Theoretically, we have our Ethernet. We have our second monitor. We have our external keyboard because we don't like to type on this little keyboard. We have our memory card with our pictures. That's the microphone again. And we still have a micro SD card slot that's available if we wanted it to. And then all I have to do to plug all these things into my computer, it's just one. It's just this one USB cable, one USB-C. You see it? I see it. It's amazing, right? It's really amazing. So I've used this adapter. I told you, this is not one where I'm like, I'm not that familiar with it. I'm at least 50 times familiar with this adapter. And I can tell you the performance on it is first rate. The Ethernet, full speeds, no lags. The devices work great. External monitors, I've used up to 27-inch. I'm sure it could do bigger. And it's totally smooth, no issues whatsoever. And actually, You could, even though this already has full-size HDMI, whoops, it's on the other side. Even though it has that, you could run 3. That's it. I know you said you only had to count to 1. Second monitor, you got to count to 2. And you know what? With this adapter and full-size HDMI, count them, that's 3. You can hook 3 monitors by adding this adapter. So the point is, also, okay, now I'm ready to go home for the day. I haven't had to take my power adapter out of my bag to power everything because I've already got this little small one plugged in, which is powering everything. And when I'm ready for the day, I'll go ahead and make sure that I eject my drive because I have an SD card in there. Whoops, not doing this so well. I'm pushing a little too hard. I must be nervous, huh? And I'm going to go like that. It turns to an eject. I hit it like that. It disappears. Now it's safe for me to remove my SD card that's stuffed in here. I'm not going to because I'm going home. I just pull the one cable. That's it. Close my lid like many Mac people do. They just close the lid. If it was me, if you're not just going home to work a few minutes later, go ahead and shut it down. It's good to restart your computer once in a while. Shutting it down and then starting it up when you get home is just like restarting it. It clears out anything that's in resident memory that could be causing you problems. Many Mac people get in the habit when they're done for the day, they don't even close the programs, but they just shut the lid. And then when they're ready to work, open it up and it works. And that's always been great in the Mac world. But in the PC world, the shutting the lid and opening it up, when you go to open it back up, it's going to take a long time for this screen to come back. So PC people shut it down more often than Mac people. Good habit, restart your computer at least once a week. At least once a week, restart your computer. You will do yourself a favor. Your computer will run better. Everything will be smoother. Back to what we were really talking about is this adapter, this UGREEN adapter. Honestly, totally impressed. I've used it extensively and I think it's great. We'll put a link below. If you need something like this, highly suggest it. It's not the cheapest one, but it's not the most expensive one either. It's about $10 or $15 more than the cheapest one. So you're still pretty good. Worth the money, no problems. UGREEN is solid. The build on this is very nice. It works very well. Go get one.
All right, folks, thanks for watching this episode. Hey, if there's something you'd love to see on this show, leave us a comment below. We appreciate you.